Hey guys, it's the Melody 5. We're back to more Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Last time, we did all of Secret Seclusion, completing all of the levels in the game. And this time, to end things off, we're gonna go over all of the extras. First off, like what I did with Returns in its bonus episode, I'm going to show off Time Attack mode with the first level. Of course, as the name suggests, oh yeah, you can also influence parts of the level, but I'm probably just gonna say default with this. So all it is just you play the level, but you try to see how fast you can get to the end. It's quite simple like that, but I guess as I'm doing this, I can sort of explain one thing. And of course, again, like in Returns, there is like medals based on how fast you can manage to do it, and I guess I could kind of show off my speedrunning stuff I was talking about whenever I had to do shit off screen. But, I believe, much like, I think this is kind of the case of all the original Donkey Kong Country games as well, I believe the completion rate of this game is not 100%, I think it's 200%, and that is actually to do with hard mode. Beating every level on hard mode, I believe, because I've never done it myself, obviously, as you can tell by the fact that I never actually beat Secret Seclusion until doing the last episode, I believe, yeah, beating every single level in the game on hard mode brings up to 200%, but I should just jump on you in order to save that. And then, oh, come on. I'm falling to the basic beginner traps. You fool! You fell for one of the most classic blunders! Okay, yeah, but of course, I'm not going to show off hard mode. It already pretty much explains right there what hard mode is. It's not even like, obviously, you know, mirror mode, where it's at least slightly different in that regard. And just because we've already seen every level at this point, I don't really think anybody really wants to watch me play through all the same levels again. I'd be surprised if anybody actually wanted to watch me just play through the levels in general, or just play this game in general. Let alone, obviously, play them all over again, well, obviously it's harder, so I'm probably going to die more and get even more frustrated than what I usually do. And I am not making it to the end of this level in time. Holy crap, I'm doing so bad right now. Just launch me through! No need for the cinematics! Okay, come on. There is one other reward for doing things in hard mode that I shall explain a bit later, though, when it's more appropriate. Damn it. Okay, maybe I can go for... Wow, that's very little time difference you really have to get from gold to silver. Just 20 seconds? Really? Fuck it, just run for it. Yeah, there's another Diddy right... Never mind! Never mind with Diddy! Am I gonna die here? Am I actually gonna die in fucking Time Attack? There, and I'm gonna get... Oh, bronze! Yeah, another 20 seconds! I feel like that's kind of... Well, that's a bit harsh, actually. Just give me the bronze. No, do not connect to the internet. Can you even... Okay, yeah, though. No, I don't want that connected to the internet. I don't want that horrible play done. No. Oh. No, I don't want to retry again. Stop it. Stop forcing me into this shit. No. Okay, then. Oh, great. The time limit is on the fucking menu as well, but okay. As I said last time, it's time to finally buy something from Funky Shop by using all 999 of my banana coins to put into the figures. So right, wanna buy this bird? He's more like a rental. He keeps coming back here. Oh yeah, I meant to bring this up all the way back in the first episode, and I think I just forgot, honestly. I believe in the Switch version, I don't know if this just applies to Funky mode, or if it just, in general, Squawks runs the shop instead. But again, I'm not playing the Switch version, so of course I'm not showing off Funky mode, even though that obviously would be relegated to a bonus episode. How many can I buy at a time, actually? I think there is a limit. Or is there not? Oh my god! There isn't. So, like, I want to actually see how many of these am I actually going to be able to buy at once. Because I know obviously I can't use up all single one of them because it's an odd number. I'm 199 of these, alright, welcome to my Donkey Kong Country Hero summoning session. We're gonna pull in 199 orbs into this and see what we get out. Let's go try and aim for the... I'm gonna aim for the reds if I want it. I didn't even get all of them! I knew this was gonna happen! I'm pretty sure there's only like 1 or 2 something that I didn't freaking get, even after all those goddamn banana coins in it. See, this is exactly why I wasn't even wanting to do this in, like, the first place, because my luck in that is atrocious! Anyway, in extras, you got the figures, the images, the music, and the dioramas, which you now go over. So you got all the Kong family, which for some reason includes the minecart and the rocket barrel and Professor Chops. I guess Rambi can maybe considered a pair or something, but I don't know. It took me forever just to get Donkey Kong. You saw in that montage of how many freaking like repeats there are. And yeah, they're a lot like the trophies in Smash Brothers. Or if I'll just show some of them, because I remember it kind of takes a little bit of a while for it just to load up the freaking figurine when you do it the first time. Not really sure why. It's not really that much you really need to load. And yes, my favorite Kong family member, the minecart and the rocket barrel. The drama between those two is amazing. It always makes very interesting family gatherings. Of course, that maybe is why the freaking family tree is so bloody confusing. They have inanimate objects in it, and pigs as well! Pigs, and he just sort of stands on an empty void of blackness for some reason. I don't know why. Okay then. Now they got the bosses, at least I got all of them. Of course, now you can see that I was not making up their damn names or their titles. Whoa, go back to Pompey. I was not making up their damn names or titles whatsoever. This is the only place in the damn game where it actually tells you that bloody names in the first place. I don't think there's really anything particularly interesting. It's not like the dioramas, which, like in Returns, yes, they do have some little, like, cool little, like, Easter eggs included within them. Yeah, I don't think there's really much these guys at all. And what the hell Frederick's pulling that weird face. Okay, so that's one. These are all the Tux, penguin enemies, Tux! Speedy Tux, where he's wearing red and he knows how to run! Tough Tux, where he has a helmet and I just chuck him at all the enemies. Pointy Tux, where he gets the better idea to use a spike helmet. Trench Tux, where he's one of the 4 cardinal penguins, the shield penguin, and everybody doesn't like him for some reason. Archie, the guy that shoots fish. Boombird, the guy that probably should be in prison because he's kind of obsessed with explosives. Penguin Tux, the guy that likes really bad puns. Papa Penguin, a big daddy. And Sori, the one that thinks he can fly. And these ones, these are more just like the Hootses and the Fluffs. So, we got Fluff, the rabbit, Tough Fluff, the one that takes the idea from the Tough Tux. Harry, the guy that somehow shits out ice. Harold, the other guy obsessed with bombs. And Leamington, who's like, it's more like a hamster really, but he's in class with the rabbits. And then Hoots, Hot Hoots, the annoying asshole that's on fire. Lufton, the fat shit, the tough fat one, and the blue one's on fire. And then these ones are just more the tougher enemies, so... Waldo, the walrus. Walnuts, the very stupidly named walrus. Walbrick, one of the 4 cardinal walruses. Chum Chucker Charlie, already went on about his name. Fish Poker Pops. And Big Sven, the only non-walrus one in there, so I ended up going for all of them anyway. Great. But anyway... on to the images. These ones, what I really like about the images in this game, they kind of show a lot of concept ideas in them. So, I love Diddy's face in this image. Like, honestly, that could be your fucking replacement for the surprise Pikachu meme. It's just, it seems more like the Kong House is going to be destroyed in maybe like an earlier draft of the game or something. And then this one you got more flamingos and you got pirate ships rather than more just like mechanical ships and planes in the background. This one seems to be more of a first case of more of an unused level concept. He's got propellers that would be holding on to platforms and maybe they would fall down or something. That's more speculation on my part. Waterfalls on broken propeller, spinning winds up tangled wreckage, jump before getting sliced. Oh yeah, I was right. It actually does influence the platform in some way. I guess this is just an early draft for the overall world of Lost Mangroves, and I guess maybe that was an earlier concept for the Snowman symbol, just a fish bones rather than the snowflake. And just a typical level, and then you just bust it by you. Let's see, Autumn Heights images? Okay, yeah, this got like more of like a sort of platforms moving on zip wires sort of thing. This one's got more of like, just an overall awesome village. It's kind of like more of the background that you see in Horn Top Hop. And you got this more sort of tribal-ish, I guess, sort of image. Then, you know, we got the Sawmill Frill, I was trying to remember the name, and Donkey Kong was really goofy in that. And we got beavers! Beavers in the water reel! I don't know why it sounded like I was doing another racist Asian impression there, but yeah, I guess it's an unused background image or possibly level concept. Another concept for just the overall world itself would have been surrounded by clouds and there would have been a house on the top, and there's a... Is that an airship just flying around the place? And then I guess an unused concept for the cave levels. And then a rocket barrel that's more... Well, actually, maybe Rodent Ruckus looks like it's more going to be more of a temple of sorts, rather than just generic cave. The Temple of Cheese, of course. Bright Savannah? I guess that's another sort of background concept, which is birds. There's got some crocodiles, actually, as an unused hazard, and it looks like there's some elephant statues in the background as well. Got Ramby more in an open field, rather than, you know, the frickin' apocalypse going on in the background. A silhouette level, which... No, there wasn't a silhouette level in Bright Savannah. I was just trying to think, maybe I'm just forgetting one, but no. Then we got more of this one with bridges and got some hippos. I wonder if they might have been a little bit reminiscent of the hippos from Returns in that one level of the forest. But these guys are more like they just freaking eat you. Then here's a completely unused mechanic, or just gimmick here. These birds that probably would have slowed your descent. Kind of interesting. And then you got some more Papa penguins. I guess their spears originally had shells on them, rather than just being, like, spiky and wooden. And they would just attack you from the background. It seems more mechanical. And there's even an octopus. Is that what Squidicus was originally going to plan to show up or something? And this seems more like an unused idea for Bramble Scramble. That was it. Okay, so Zebra's Cove. There doesn't really seem anything particular here. There's some unused level ideas. Some water wheels with those big-ass creepy eels, jeez. And some just sort of background elements, I guess, that just never got used. There's obviously probably an unused idea for a Miss Abyss, although it looks more like they're on the ground rather than swimming, which makes me think maybe they were in some sort of dome or something in this level idea. Just another image sort of thing, which is general background. Atlantis! And Doggo pulling chains, so I guess there was going to be an Atlantis level at one point in development. And yeah, some more unused ideas. These eels that would shoot you up, platforming in plus out of water, krill clouds, kelp forest section, and then avoid Viking dragnets high plus low. I guess maybe they sort of amalgamated a bunch of things together for that. And then just the light up statues from a Miss Abyss. And is that a shell? Either that is just a really trippy background. And Juicy Jungle. I think this one has actually quite a few interesting ones. I'm not just saying that because it's my favorite world. That is the exact same Donkey Kong image from earlier. There's more just some sort of machine here. And then this is obviously an earlier idea from... Shit, I'm so bad at remembering the level names off the top of my head, but the Rocket Barrel level, where it seems like there's going to be more platforms moving along like chains and conveyor belts and stuff as hazards instead. And then there seems to be another factory level. We've got these grapefruits going down slides and enslaved pigs, maybe? This one I find quite interesting. So this would have suggested there was going to be like a level where you would surf on a grapefruit, and I think that would actually been a really cool idea for a level. I'm a bit sad this didn't end up making it into the final game. Then more enslaved pigs, and they're moving the fruit on minecarts. And I guess that might have been another unused concept just for the entire world in general, where, like, I don't know why those houses make me think of Dr. Seuss, but it just kind of does. And then there's, this sort of general grapefruit level, I guess. I'm getting bad describing these levels, which my computer can't even seem to take either, because it just decided to freeze right at that point. And then last image for this world is that we're in, like, Mexico now all of a sudden, and there's Professor Chops and some nice pigs over there, and there's this one creepy guy just staring down from above there. I don't know what pigs have to do with Mexico in any sort of capacity. Back to Donkey Kong Island, we got the same Donkey Kong and Cranky Kong image as before, and there's just a Waldo standing there, and it's just a whole blizzard level. Then there's just this snowman structure, which I'm assuming is in the ruins. It might have been in the background, I just never noticed, or it might just not appear at all. It's another concept thing. Just the fortress there, which I think was in, it's kind of like in the background of like Blurry Flurry and that. cockpit... I don't know where I got cockpit from. Cookpot, minecart, or shield. It seems like... I guess that was going to be originally what they might have been doing for the snowball bit. At the end of Blurry Flurry, might have originally had it be a minecart or a shield. Kind of would have wanted the shield more for the sake of references. There's a hut there. I don't know if this was ever in the background of a level or not. Snowmakers. Guess this might have been an... Well, probably both a level concept, but it might have also been an earlier draft of how the snowmen actually freeze over Donkey Kong Island rather than ice dragons! Speaking of which, that's the very next image, the ice dragon itself. Yeah, not really that much to go over. Surprisingly very well detailed, and it actually looks quite cool and, like, serious looking, even though this is a very cartoonishly looking game. Then the earlier draft of the whole world, which it really isn't that different from the final version. I don't really see anything of any particular note that's different. And then I guess some unused enemies, or just earlier drafts of the enemies. So you got Sven, the fish eater, Olaf the forgetful, Krob the conqueror, and Lars the immovable. So the last one almost sounds like a Xenoblade enemy. And then Snowball fights for a bonus room. Huh, okay, so an unused bonus room idea. And there's a nice polar bear, a nice walrus, and just an Arctic fox there. Then, these are all the images you unlock from getting the puzzle pieces in the Kong levels, which are just basically the enemies for that world. Just the generic enemies. And a lot of these have actually unused enemies. All of these enemies from Lost Mangroves obviously appear in the game, but this is where we start getting some more different ones. There's a skunk, some bees around a pile of hay, and a goat. None of which appear in the final game. Only the rat and the pig. Then for Bright Savannah, we got the hippos again. Kind of figure going on there. And they even look like the hippos from Returns. It's just now they got like a little rubber ring around them. And then they also got these weird leopards, rat things. I'm not sure if this is like based on like an actual animal or anything, but it's like a leopard, rat, lemur thing. If that actually is an animal, I'd be very interested to know what it is. Then Seabreeze Cove. Only the eel appears. None of the other enemies appear in this, which I find a real shame because I think that sea serpent looks really cool, and I actually quite like how the jellyfish looks as well. I wouldn't have mind seeing them appear in the game, and I feel like it's kind of a bit lame that they didn't. It kind of might have added a little bit more variety to the underwater portions of the world. Then Juicy Jungle, yeah, all these guys appear in the level. It's just the Chompasaurs have a different color, and the fruit that the toucans, yes, that is actually the name of the toucans, are riding on is less spiky. And then Donkey Kong Island, just all the snowmats. So there was originally going to be a Hoots that had a horn helmet on, and then the Tuftons were originally going to have spikes on their helmets, and they're going to have more of a blue color, but the spikes are going to stick out more to the side. And then the Waldos were originally going to have like a tattoo or something on their stomach. And it looks like the walnuts look like they got more of a strap, which I don't think is very apparent in the final version, unless I'm just missing something. And like, let me just say, it was a pain in the ass to try and get artwork for the freaking characters and enemies for the thumbnails. I often had to rely on things like this and just remove the white from it, because again, because my photo editing software is so shit, you can still see the white outline behind it anyway. And then finally, Secret Seclusion. Now you may notice that there are actually 10 of these, but of course there are only 3 levels. Each of these ones that are blanked out, you have to unlock them by beating every world in the game on hard mode. When I learned that, I was like, fuck that, I am not doing that. So instead, I'll just show you these ones, and afterwards I shall do some little research and just put the ones that I don't have on screen so you can still see them. So we got some different sort of backgrounds. We got some more general daytime. They got more of a misty background, which is kind of more what they went with in the final game. We've got this night one with the aurora, which I think that would have actually looked really cool. Then it looks like there was originally going to be like a moon world and like trophy level node, which I have no idea what that means. And this kind of reminds me of the game, the Rabbids Go Home, where for the longest time, I thought that there was some sort of secret level at the end of the game on the moon, and then many years later, I tried looking up and found out that no, getting up to the moon does nothing, you just get a star for it. if it's just the biggest disappointment of my life. And then there's just the statue with, again, kind of more concept art for just the entire world in general. It seemed to have a bit more stuff on, like, the main platform itself, which kind of gives a better indication of what to actually expect in levels, which I kind of would have preferred if they went with that, because you got the propellers around crazy clouds, and you got the fish, and even the rails next to rocket rails, but okay. So anyway, I'm just going to explain all of these right now, and I'm just going to add the missing images over my commentary here. I guess if I forget to mention any of them, I'll just put them at the end, but next one is just a concept of Funky Shop, and then after that is a concept art for Dixie's Bubblegum Gun, which is something I never actually brought up. If you're playing 2-player, and you have the second player play as Diddy, when he does, like, his version of the pound that he does on the ground, he shoots his peanut gun, and in Dixie's case, he shoots a bubblegum gun, and that's what this is. I think with Cranky, he just does, like, a swinging motion with his walking stick. I've never actually really seen that. Then, after that, we get some more, unused level ideas, one of which is, like, a level that's filled with ghosts, which actually would have been quite cool, and the ghost on the far right actually kind of reminds me of the Tikis, in a way, so I wonder if this was going to be like another throwback level of sorts, where you're just going to fight the ghosts of the Tikis somehow. Then there was like a level which was more like a swamp, which had these like scrapyard houses and traffic lights in the background. I'm not entirely sure there. And then I think the most interesting of all of these, honestly, is that there is an unused boss in one of these concept arts. It's like a giant caterpillar thing, which I'm not exactly sure how you would have fought that, but you can clearly tell it's a snowman enemy because it's got a Viking helmet on, and it seems to be some kind of cauldron thing in the background. And then the last two is just concept art for two other bosses that I actually did make in the game. The first is Bashmasters, where instead you would have been fighting him in orange juice, and on a big sliced orange instead. It's not really that much different to what we actually saw in the game, it was just more just grape juice. And the first one is just concept art of Pompey's boss arena, which isn't really any different to how it is in the final game anyway. So with all of the concept art out of the way, we don't really need to go over the music because we've already kind of heard the music pretty much a lot of the time anyway. And they have Homecoming Hijinks labeled as the Snowman's theme? Huh. Okay, but anyway. Dioramas! I always really like the dioramas. So, for Lost Man... Okay, that was weird. It kind of appeared behind the freaking screen. I don't think there's anything particularly of note around here. I guess other than this Tough Tux clinging on for his dear life. This one's kind of more simple because, of course, it's the first world. And there's a regular dragonfly. It doesn't have a monocle on it. But the other ones is where it gets more interesting. So, Autumn Heights... It's gonna keep doing that, and that's gonna look really weird, it's gonna bug me. We shoot the damn sorry out of the frickin' horn blown by the owl, and there's a rodent eating the cheese. We got the pig just staring around here. Is this... Oh, there's not that much interesting in this one, either. There's like... I know the later ones, they had like cool little details around it, but these ones seem more so... Oh, okay, that's actually kind of cool, just Crank just bonking this guy on the head. Okay, next one just saved me. Bright Savannah. Gonna have like almost a wrestling match of Rambi against Waldo. These guys are watching in the background. Is anything behind it? Yep, okay. Tough Tux hiding. That's more kind of stuff I'm trying to look out for. Because I think it's quite cool when they go into the extra detail like that. Is anything with these plants? No, nothing. This guy's trying to eat a cactus. He's kind of a badass now. Okay, Seabreeze Cove. Diddy's going fishing. And Donkey Kong is playing on a 3DS. That is actually something I didn't actually bother to show. But and Donkey Kong has an idle animation, where when he stops moving, he just sits on the ground and he gets out a 3DS and plays it. But in the Switch version, he gets out a Switch instead. So I kind of wonder if they actually changed that in the Switch version. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, but it's kind of interesting. I guess if anybody has the Switch version and got this diorama, they could inform me of that. I don't think there's anything else other particular note. I just guys other than the Snaggles trying to eat the... Oh, they have the treasure chest! I never noticed that before. Oh, I didn't mean to go back. Anything around the island? No, it doesn't appear to be. Okay, Juicy Jungle! Which unfortunately isn't that exciting, actually. Donkey Kong's about to get eaten by this Chompasaur, there's a bee flying around, and that's it. They don't really have any cool hidden stuff. I would have loved, like, little extra bits of fruit and some waterways and stuff, and maybe even, like, the frozen stuff to represent the frozen part of the world, but no, it's just very basic. And lastly, Donkey Kong Island. We have a snowball fight, kind of like that concept art for the bonus room. Cranky's on this dead guy. Donkey Kong is about to get hit in the face as he throws a snowball up there. Dixie's Brian back up, and Diddy just lobbed this guy right in the face. But what I think is the most interesting thing about this diorama is the ice at the bottom. So, on this side, you can see some fish, but on this side, you can find Mowgli frozen under the ice. Yet again, another callback to Returns for the diorama for the Returns throwback thing. Fortunately, there's not one for Secret Seclusion. Kind of would have liked that if they just amalgamated all the 3 levels together, but that's it. That is everything I really need to show, unless you want to see the options. I don't know. So, there's not really any good way I can end this. I might as well just end it off back where we just ended everything off last time. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this LP of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I know I did. And, I'll see you guys for the next one, where, once again, I don't even have any other additional hints to give to it, because I'm just really bad at thinking of hints for this that don't just blatantly give away what the next game is going to be. So, I'll see you guys for that.